Supreme Court, this ruling, the ripple effects are
only just beginning.
Exactly.
Only just beginning. The ruling allows states to decide if abortion should be legal, and the ripple effects continue to spread. So far, at least 7 states have banned the procedure, and others are on the way. In some of those states, abortion rights supporters are going back to court, arguing that so-called trigger laws should not be allowed to come into force. Caitlin Huey-Burns is in Jackson, Mississippi, where state officials have already certified that an abortion ban can take effect. Caitlin, good morning. Mississippi was the center of this case, right? Yeah.
Yeah, good morning, Vlad and Anne-Marie. Mississippi was at the center of this case, and actually this clinic right behind me was at the center of this case. And this is a clinic that's preparing to close next week, pending this lawsuit, of course. And when it does close, what's important to note is that the surrounding states here also have trigger laws in place. And so if you are a woman in Mississippi seeking abortion care, you're going to have to travel to a clinic over 400 miles away.
Outrage, celebration, and confusion across the country as the Supreme Court's decision leaves the issue of abortion up to the states. 13 states have laws in place that automatically ban the procedure. Yesterday, state court judges in Utah and Louisiana temporarily blocked those so-called trigger laws. Similar lawsuits have been filed in 6 other states, with more expected.
Chaos has ensued across broad swaths of the South.
Jenny Ma is senior staff attorney at the Center for Reproductive Rights. She filed the lawsuit challenging Louisiana's trigger laws.
The fight is far from over.
Louisiana's 3 remaining abortion clinics will now stay open pending a hearing next week.
We argued that those could not legally stand because they were so confusing and so vague. And so we are challenging those laws under the Louisiana Constitution.
Mississippi's only abortion clinic also filed a lawsuit, arguing the law goes against the state's constitution.
Everything looks pretty good. Okay.
Adriana Lewis-Scholes is a certified midwife in Mississippi who often drives 2 hours to see patients.
You taking your prenatal vitamins? Mm-hmm. Okay.
She's worried about the lack of resources for pregnant women in the state.
Sometimes you have patients that deliver on the side of the road, and that's the thing also because they couldn't make it to the hospital in time.
Now, Mississippi's Governor Tate Reeves says that he's looking at grant programs to help women before, during, and after pregnancy. They are also looking for ways to incentivize adoption here and to expand safe haven laws here in the state. Vlad, Anne-Marie?
I would actually like to hear more about these programs that Mississippi's governor is promising to advance.
Yeah, Anne-Marie, this is a really important storyline to follow because as these states with the most restrictive abortion laws are actually coming into effect, they're also the states that we've seen that have the least amount of resources for women and children. That's something that we've been reporting on for months leading into this decision. So what the Mississippi governor's office told me is that the governor signed into law this program which essentially tries to give tax credits for people to give to emergency pregnancy centers. But we spent a lot of time over the past couple of days actually talking to women on the front lines of really this healthcare debate, and they say that those kinds of resources for them, those tax credits, are actually pretty hard to get here. So that's going to be something to watch for. But, you know, taking this at kind of a broader level beyond Mississippi, this is something that I've been asking Republican lawmakers on Capitol Hill who have been, you know, cheering this decision. I've asked, you know, what can you do now? What kind of federal programs, what kind of state programs should be in place? And, you know, some of them have argued, look, if we're going to be the party of pro-life, we have to be pro-life after birth. But still, the disparities are very, very clear here in places like Mississippi.
Yeah, I mean, Caitlin, one of the things that is remarkable is you hear the governor of Mississippi, the governor of South Dakota, Kristi Noem, talking about trying to ensure that once these laws go into effect, that women have access to everything that they need. But the reality is that leading up to these decisions, leading up to this SCOTUS ruling, women have not had access to all the things that they need. Some of these states, Mississippi included, have the highest rates of infant mortality, maternal mortality. People die in those states because they don't have access to medical services. And now you're adding an extra layer for the women who are going through this trauma that hasn't been there before. In other words, these services haven't been there before. So how are they going to pay for them? And, you know, that's the question, right? You have to be able to pay for these, and Republicans generally don't like to raise taxes to pay for social services.
That would have been a great way to reduce the number of abortions, if that was your concern, by providing all of these services ahead of time, and then people would believe that they had other choices, the type of support that they need to go through with a pregnancy, if they choose to. But if they don't have to, or they didn't have to.
Exactly. I mean, that's a really good point, especially when you look at those stats in Mississippi, and you really see that across the South and kind of even more broadly. None of the states with the most restrictive abortion laws on the books offer paid maternity leave, and about half of them didn't accept Medicaid expansion, which does a lot to help cover costs for postpartum. So that's certainly a big issue to watch here in Mississippi and elsewhere. And, you know, we talked to a midwife yesterday here in Jackson who travels, 2 hours to see patients, and she says that, places like the Delta, the poorest region in the state, she says that people have, it takes hours. They have to cross a couple of county lines to get to a hospital, and they've actually had to deliver on the side of the road. So that just shows kind of the disparities already in place, especially in a state where you heard the governor say this is something that they've been working on for 50 years since Roe was first, decided by the court. So they've had a lot of time to prepare for this, and people that we've been talking to on the front lines say that they're simply not prepared for what's coming next.
All right, Caitlin Huey-Burns in Mississippi, the center of it all, where that case first started that led to the Supreme Court ruling. Thank you, Caitlin.